Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure you will hear all about the Michigan Wolverines win their 12th NCAA National Football Championship with Jim Harbaugh's cheating ass, and the NFL playoffs start this week. The Philadelphia Eagles collapse. The Bills win the division. The Cowboys win the division. The 49ers and Ravens get a bye. All kind of storylines. You know, the Texans traded Deshaun, Bill Cosby, Watson to the Browns, and now they play each other without Bill Cosby there. You got the Cowboys playing the Packers, who were coached by Mike McCarthy for all those years. You got the Rams and Lions playing each other with the two quarterbacks that got swapped, Stafford and Jared Goff. I'm sure Jared Goff wants to beat the shit out of the Rams and kick them out of the playoffs. I don't see it. And of course, you got all kind of other shit going on in the world of sports, including E.J. and Rucker's year-long football bet. We find out who loses this week, although we already knew who lost. And then maybe we'll pick some playoff games. But before we do all that, how you doing, EJ?
I'm doing swell. And before we get going, I just can't let you just skip by you besmirching the good name of Jim Harbaugh. Man, won a national championship, and you had to throw the cheating thing on the end of it. Just couldn't give him straight up praise.
Fuck Jim Harbaugh.
I like Jim Harbaugh. He's a quirky guy.
I don't like him. I don't like them damn khakis. I don't like his daddy. I don't like his brother. I don't like the whole damn Harbaugh family. None of them.
Hey, man. Shows hard work and dedication pays off. He's been at Michigan, 9 years quietly? And
cheating.
What Michigan did, a lot of the other teams were doing. And
yeah, but they got caught.
Whatever. It's still impressive.
I do like the heelless nature, though. Like, yeah, you caught me and you suspended me thinking it's going to fuck us over, and we still went undefeated. And at the end of the year, y'all got to hand me this goddamn trophy on the stage. I do kind of like that, but fuck Jim Harbaugh.
Exactly. Like, what can you say when I'm holding this championship in my hand? And you said they have 12? When they won all those championships? I don't recall.
I thought that's what I heard. It was 12, first time since like 1990 something or another, when Charles Woodson and all them was there.
97. It was a shared championship, but then before that, they said they ain't won it since like the 40s or something like that.
Who? Them and was it Colorado they shared it with?
I think it was Nebraska that year.
Nebraska, yeah. Let's see how many NCAA football championships.
They must have got like a lot of theirs, like in because I know they got the most wins in college football history, so they must have got a lot of theirs like in the early 1900s. And
12.
Okay.
NCAA credits Michigan with 10 football championships, while Michigan claims 12. How they just gonna say we got 12? Fuck y'all.
That's how they all do. Like Alabama claims a whole bunch of ones that they just claim. I think like Army and a lot of those schools.
It says in 1932 and 1947, titles that Michigan counts as winning are not recognized by the NCAA. How were they not recognized?
Because they just claimed them without having like any type of authority.
If they won though, right? Like,
Yeah, but it was like a bunch of teams that won, but it was no championship games. You just played your games, and then they just declared a champion
this says you're not gonna believe who has the most recognized NCAA national titles.
in football.
Yeah,
It's probably like Army or one of the military academies.
no,
Mm.
they're not even in the top 8. None of the military academies. 2 out of the top 3 you would never fucking guess.
But it's probably like a Ivy League school like Harvard or Brown or something like that.
Number 1 with 18, Yale.
I knew it. I knew it was because they were like the first schools that ever played football.
Number 2 with 16, Alabama. Number 3, Princeton with 15. Notre Dame has 13. And then number 5, Michigan. They just broke the tie with USC, who has 9. Harvard has 8. Ohio State has 8. That is the top 8. It only goes to 8.
I knew it would be those Ivy League schools because they were like the first to play when it was like 3 teams playing football.
Oklahoma has 7. Minnesota has 6. That's your top 10.
Yeah, they should divide those like in a modern era and count those ones like in 1890s.
Why not? They're recognized.
It wouldn't even have the same rules of football. It wasn't even the same game.
I mean, we didn't have a salary cap in the 90s. Does that mean the Cowboys championships don't count? We really only got 0 now?
We could have a clear cut of like Super Bowl era and like when they had the NFC or NFL championships.
Wow, I'm glad you said Super Bowl era. It reminded me of something. I was listening to Busted Open the other day, and they had Ice Cube's son on there, and he was talking about Roman Reigns, and he was trying to give reasons why Roman should keep the title until he breaks Hulk Hogan's record. And he said Roman would be the longest reigning champion in the WrestleMania era.
Yeah, I heard that interview as well. He had some good
And
points.
yeah, they even mentioned it, and they said, in the NFL, they say in the Super Bowl era. So yeah, nobody's ever gonna catch fucking not Luthez. What's the old
Bruno
motherfucker's name?
Sammartino.
Nobody's ever gonna catch Bruno, right? But in the Super Bowl, I'm sorry, the WrestleMania era, Roman Reigns could be the longest reigning. You don't want Hulk Hogan, and he's gonna do it during the 40th anniversary of Hulkamania year. That would just be lovely. The only better thing would be is if Roman was black.
Yeah, black
because fuck Hulk Hogan. Yeah,
he's got a black wife.
Does he?
I want to say, unless I'm tripping, his wife is black.
I know she looks light skinned, but I know she was black. She could be. She could pass. They come to the cooking. As long as they bring Jey Uso with them, they invited. Now Jey. Jimmy, I don't know about that motherfucker. He a little shifty. I don't know about Jimmy.
Yeah, you bring Jimmy. You bring Trinity with him.
Yeah, they get the pass with Trinity. Solo's wife is black too, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
You could bring the whole Anoa'i family. You pronounce it, the Anoa'i.
Man, I don't know if I got enough chairs for all these motherfuckers. That's a big family. Where everybody gonna sit?
I mean, you gotta bring your own chair. BYOC.
Everybody, you got 2 people trying to sit at the head of the table. Meanwhile, it's my house, and I'm trying to sit there. Rock and Roman arguing about the shit. I just sit down quietly.
Mac and cheese in hand.
Oh yeah. EJ, I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't watch much wrestling this week. I've been very busy.
How come?
Very busy, man. Had the kids this weekend. Had birthday parties to go to. NFL football to watch. What else did I do this week? I did something else. But yeah, my kids took up a lot of my time this weekend, so I didn't get to do Wrestle Kingdom. I watched a little bit of Wrestle Kingdom, one of the streams that I found. And the only thing I took away from it was, man, the fucking Bullet Club has fell the fuck off. Chase Owens as the leader? Shit.
I thought it was David Finley.
Whatever.
David
Finley exactly.
David Finley is okay. A lot of people have been criticizing this new iteration of the Bullet Club. I don't know.
Yeah, they all run their course. It's like if the NWO would have stuck around long enough for Scott Norton to be the fucking leader.
I think Scott Norton was the leader in Japan. the NWO Japan.
Exactly. It never went anywhere. I thought the Great Muta was the leader in Japan.
Well, I know Scott Norton was a big part of it. You might be right. Great Muta was the actual leader, but I know Scott Norton like was big time in Japan.
Man, Scott Norton and Ice Train used to have that cold ass tag team, Fire
Fire
and
and
Ice.
Ice.
Yeah, buddy. There was some big motherfuckers there, buddy.
And I think
Couldn't work
Norton,
worth the shit.
yeah, I think Norton turned on Ice Train.
I thought Ice Train turned on him. I could be remembering all of it wrong.
Well, I might be getting it wrong. So I went back and watched some of those episodes. I think didn't he turn on him and join the NWO?
You might be right, but then that'd be two tag teams that they would have broken up to join the NWO because they broke up the American males like that. On
Everybody did that.
fucking
And the Steiners, they did it with all tag team.
Did Scott turn on Rick though to join?
Yeah, remember he got underneath him and did that. They were doing the little pose, and then he winked at one of the NWO members, and then did the double hand fist to his back.
God damn, he sure did, didn't he?
Yeah, everybody turned on their tag team. Then Stevie Ray turn on Booker to go to the NWO too.
I think they had already broken up. He had like Master P and Ahmed Johnson and all them motherfuckers running with him. Man,
What a
Ahmed Johnson was big as fuck back then. Like he gained so much weight.
what a dangerous worker, Ahmed Johnson. Everybody hated working with him.
Sonny liked working with him. Rumor has it.
Forget Sonny. Oh, you sure about that? I thought she was a little racist.
Man, a lot of them are racist until they get a taste of that chocolate.
Yeah, I was watching a shoot interview and she's basically saying that she strictly only messes with white guys or something like that.
Yeah, because Ahmed didn't know how to work. He fucking hurt her.
Allegedly.
Shit. Ahmed was a dangerous worker. She said, "Shit, I'd never work with you motherfuckers again."
She's somewhere behind the cell, as she should be.
Yeah, big time. Throw the key away. So, what you want to get into first, DJ?
I don't know, man. You said you didn't even get to watch a lot of it. I forgot about Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, well, see, there we go. We ain't got to talk about
it. How much of it did you watch?
I don't know. I was watching it half asleep, I think, Sunday morning, sitting on the couch, and my daughter woke up and was like, "Can we eat breakfast?" Shit. I guess I'm done with Wrestle Kingdom. I don't even know how many matches I watched. I think I've watched more of the press conferences after, like with Dolph Ziggler running in, and saw your boy Matt Riddle at MLW. Like I've been watching a lot of clips on Twitter and shit like that this week. So I did watch a little bit of Monday Night Raw. I watched SmackDown, and I watched Collision because my boy Sting was wrestling. So I watched a good bit of weekend wrestling, but as far as Wrestle Kingdom and Impact, I didn't watch even one of those. I don't think I watched Rampage either.
Impact, they hadn't started with new episodes yet. I guess
they are.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say they are debuting new titles there.
Yeah, our boy Mr. Chaos, he was posting some pictures on the Discord of the new titles. They look pretty clean.
Yeah, I've liked all the ones that I've seen so far. Today they did the Digital Media Championship, the belt Tommy Dreamer has. Why Tommy Dreamer has a fucking belt in 2023, I don't know. But yeah, the belts look nice, man. I like the fact that some of them got a white strap. Tommy Dreamer's has a black. They look good, man. They really do.
Yeah, so I guess this weekend, once they have their, I think it's Hard to Kill maybe this weekend.
Yep, January 13th.
So I guess they'll start having new episodes of Impact. It's weird that they're going back to TNA, but the show's still called Impact. So
it was always called Impact.
Yeah, I know.
It was always TNA Impact.
Like when I'm talking about the show, I'm probably still gonna say Impact because that's the name of the show. It's like I say Raw, SmackDown. So yeah. So yeah, and they got. I think Okada's supposed to be at the Snake Eyes taping. Like it's supposed to be the day after the pay-per-view. So
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, they're starting the year off with a bang. I think Osprey might be there too. I may be wrong, but
Speaking of Raw, they're talking about Raw might be exclusively on Amazon Prime.
I
That's what the rumor is, that Amazon Prime is leader in the clubhouse to get exclusive rights to Monday Night Raw.
guess you got to get with the times. Like, I know you said you got rid of Prime, so you have to pick it back up, right?
I don't know. Unless some motherfucker gonna stream it on Twitch.
I don't think they're gonna stream it on Twitch. I know Amazon owns Twitch too, but yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I know streaming is the wave of the future, so you got to get with it or get gone. But I have Amazon Prime, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal for me. But you still got older fans that got regular cable subscriptions. So aren't you kind of isolating them?
Yeah, just put everything on Peacock, man. Peacock owns the network. Or did they just sell the network to Peacock for like a contract period?
Yeah, Peacock, they only have rights to their streaming stuff, like the stuff that they put on the network. They don't have rights to the actual like weekly episodic the television shows.
Mm.
It, I know USA has Raw still, and I know USA Universal owns Peacock, but they just have like the network stuff for like the PLEs and like the past stuff, but they don't have like the rights for weekly shows. So, oh yeah, why not? Just I'm surprised. Like, well, if you are USA Universal, why wouldn't you just keep them? I get like, yeah, why would you just keep them since you already had them in the Peacock umbrella?
Exactly. You pay a little bit more money, but then you're gonna have, 3-4 million people, well, maybe like 2 million people that don't have the network subscribe just so they could watch Monday Night Raw, and they get the pay-per-views to come with it.
Yeah, but of course they got to make it complicated and go to Prime. I mean, it's not set in stone, is it though?
No, no, no. It's just they're rumored to be the leaders to pick it up.
I mean,
Everything's just getting more complicated. You got football, a playoff game is going to be on Peacock this weekend.
yeah, I see that. I mean, where we know how to operate stuff like that, so it's not gonna be bad for us. But like I said, you still got our parents' era. They're like, I'm not gonna flip on Peacock and deal with the smart TV, and I already got cable and satellite.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I could go back to fucking cable or satellite with DVR and all that and still be able to watch everything like I used to, I'd rather have that. I don't need all this other shit.
I
It's
think.
just
Go ahead.
convoluted. It's just convoluted and annoying. Like, you got to get this remote control. You got to go to this input. You got to,
Mm.
I might want to watch The Walking Dead, but that's on this app. Well, no, let's see how many episodes of Reacher that I haven't watched it. Well, that's on a different app. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like you said, it is super convoluted, and they have an app for everything. All of these networks have their own plus service, Paramount and Peacock and Disney Plus and Hulu and all of that. Is like you said, it was easier back when you had cable. And I think the bubble's gonna burst. I might be wrong because I'm hearing that some of these streaming services aren't doing that well.
I know they ain't getting much of my money. I think I don't know how I'm still subscribed to Amazon Prime because I'm not paying for it, but yet I'm able to watch like The Boys and shit like that. But the only thing I'm paying for is Peacock.
Mhm.
I lied. During Black Friday, there was a deal to get Hulu and Disney Plus for $4 combined, but there's commercials on them. But I get it for $4 a month for a year.
Mm.
So I did that. I do pay for those. And the only thing I really watch is Disney Plus because me and my girlfriend are doing the Marvel Cinematic Universe in order.
Where you start? Did you start all the way back with Iron Man?
Actually start with Captain America. They have it set for you got to find it. It literally says Marvel MCU in sequential order, and you just start with. They even put the TV shows in there, but we've been skipping the TV shows. We've just been watching the movies.
Now, are they doing it by like
They're not doing it by release date. They're doing it
oh
by the
actual
order that the
time?
movies are. Yeah, the timeline. They're doing it by the timeline.
Uh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a little different, but I kind of like it Because now when they say certain stuff, you're like, oh yeah, duh.
I mean, I guess you got, like you said, Captain America that was in the 40s, and you had to go to like, I think they had a couple that were placed in the 70s. I know Captain Marvel, I think, was in the 80s. I guess you got to go by that type of
Yeah,
order.
Captain Marvel, we watched our I think we're on like we just did Iron Man 3. So I think we're about to do we just watched another Thor, Iron Man 3. We might be about to go to Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't remember which one's next though, but we're about 40% of the way done.
Hey, more power to you. Like, I'm the type that if I seen a movie, it's rare that I go back and watch it like we used to back in the day when you had to. Yeah,
Yeah.
watch Friday a million times. It's just too much content out there for me to go back and retread stuff. So I've seen like all the
I
Marvel ones, and I'm probably not gonna go back and watch
see I haven't seen Captain Marvel until I watched it this time. I've seen none of the Ant-Mans, I've seen none of the Spider-Mans, and I've seen none of the Doctor Stranges. So those will all be new to me when we get to them. And I think we got like 3 or 4 more before we start getting all those.
it. Yeah, you got a lot, and then I'm sure y'all been watching the end credits where they have the extra scenes at the end credits.
Mm-hmm. They got a little thing where you can skip to the end. I like that a little button like skip intro. Now you can skip the credits and just get to the end of it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I'm
Who
surprised.
who thought to, you know what, at the end of the credits, we're gonna put a new scene out there in the movies and not tell anybody. So like imagine how many movies before everybody knew that that was going to happen. Imagine how many times like the whole fucking theater got up and walked out. And by the time the credits were over and the scene was playing, there was nobody left in the theater.
I'm sure it's happened some few times back in the day, but I might be wrong. But I think Marvel was the one that started doing it, and they started with the Iron Man movie, and by that time they had internet. So if you look up the movie, you know that it's probably gonna be something at the end. But like you said, maybe when they first started doing it, people just walked out and didn't know about it.
Yeah. People like, damn, that was a good ass movie. Let's get the fuck out of here before the parking lot fills up. But
Hey, you shit out of luck. That's
yeah,
another
so
company
that's
though that I thought we're probably getting into the mix of trying to get WWE. I thought Disney would probably get in there because they already with Endeavor with UFC's
mm,
with ESPN,
yeah.
and that would make sense.
I'm surprised the ESPN app wasn't trying to fucking. Is that who Disney? Yeah, that's Disney, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, it's Disney. That's what I'm saying.
Hulu.
UFC's already on ESPN. It seems like that would have been a no-brainer. I know, the highest bidder is going to get them, so I guess we have to be on the lookout for what happens with that.
Maybe old Booker Sugar Tony will buy him because he's coked out today. You've been seeing him on Twitter today.
Oh, he's on one?
He's talking mad shit, talking about how Jinder Mahal's getting a title shot. Ain't nobody complaining about it, but they complaining because Hook got a shot and talking shit to Eric Bischoff.
Well,
Like,
Gender is a former champion,
yeah, but
and
he said Jinder ain't won a match in over a year. Apparently, he been watching. He said he ain't seen Jinder win a match yet. So how he just get a title match and ain't nobody complaining? But Hook is 28-1. And y'all bitching that he's getting a title match. His words, not mine. I'm paraphrasing.
I mean, I guess he has a point, but who cares? What do you say about Eric Bischoff?
Eric Bischoff was just like Eric Bischoff been talking shit about AEW and Mercedes and shit like that. And damn, I can't believe she just won. Um, and Eric retweeted Tony Khan talking shit about Jinder Mahal with the clown emoji. And Tony Khan retweeted him and said, "Shut up, you stupid has been," or something like that.
Uh, uh, both of them. I mean, Tony Khan, we all know our criticism of him, but Eric Bischoff just comes off as a bitter
Prick.
old guy. Yeah, and it's
Yeah, he's just
crazy.
a fucking prick.
Yeah, and it's crazy because wasn't Eric Bischoff on early AEW TV?
Yeah. He was with AEW for a while.
What happened? When did that sour?
I mean, I don't know if it's soured or not. Probably when Eric Bischoff started being a bitch. Eric Bischoff just is a prick to me. Like I just everything about him just sounds like a pretentious little like believes his own hype too much. Like, yeah, you ran WCW, y'all were the shit in Nitro, but you also ran the shit into the ground because you couldn't control the immortal races. You were letting him do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. You were signing all these contracts. And then you try to blame it on everybody else. Oh, well, AOL Time Warner came in and we were going to buy the company and do this, but they didn't shut the fuck up. No, you weren't.
I know, right?
It all started because you didn't let or you didn't demand that Hulk Hogan put Sting over in the biggest fucking storyline in the history of the company. And you let Hogan pull his fucking political stroke and fuck up the main event. And it was all downhill from there.
Pretty
But he
much.
blames everybody else. This motherfucker got on Conrad's podcast talking about why. I mean, I was in charge, but we really don't know what happened. You know, Hogan didn't want to do it, and Nick Patrick got the count wrong. No, he didn't. He
Hulk
did what
Hogan,
he was told.
Hulk Hogan didn't want to do it. Well, if he didn't want to do it, then you make him do it. Just like we
Exactly.
get on Tony Khan. You were the boss back then, so make him do the job. Or fire his ass.
Or have him go out and lay down in the ring like he did for Sting and Jeff Jarrett.
What a mess that was.
Yeah, he went out in Halloween Havoc when he's supposed to lose his Sting again after Sting was the heel and fucking laid down in the middle of the ring. Fuck the whole show up. Like, people forget about this stuff when they're talking about Hogan. Like, what a fucking prick.
That Jeff Jarrett one was playing. Did you watch the Dark Side of the Ring?
No, I really don't watch too much shit with Hogan on it.
It wasn't. What was the episode on? It was just one on Bash at the Beach 2000. It wasn't specifically a Hogan one.
Mm.
Everything was playing up until when Hogan left the arena because Jeff Jarrett was supposed to lay down for him. Only thing that was like off script is when Vince Russo like ripped him a new one after he left the arena. They said Hulk was pissed. They said
Vince
that was,
Russo's another one that can just shut the fuck up, bro.
yeah, but he wanted to make Booker T a champion, so I'll give him that. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's a delusional one as well. All of
Oh
those,
shit, SmackDown's gonna be in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's what, about 2 hours from you?
it's like 6-7 hours from me, man. It's far.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I feel like I used to live in Omaha from Kansas City. I didn't feel like it was that far when I was a kid.
No. Kansas City is about 2 hours away from me, so that probably adds on a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Nebraska's far. Definitely won't be going there. If it's outside of the state of Missouri, then I'll catch it later.
So speaking of people talking shit, yesterday on Monday Night Raw, we had Drew McIntyre and CM Punk had a little back and forth. Did you catch that?
I did. I mean, I get it because he was Drew McIntyre was talking about CM Punk, so he's like, "You said my name, I'm coming out," but I really don't get what the purpose of that segment is.
Drew just sounds like a crybaby.
He does. Well, how's his
Like
contract looking like?
That was the other weird thing is he was like, I'm about to take some time off and just go away for a little while. And then all of a sudden Punk came out talk shit and he's like, well, I'll see you at the Royal Rumble. Like, I thought you was taking time off.
Let's say bye.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this one. I don't know what they're doing with CM Punk. They just rolled him out there to say a couple words to Drew McIntyre and then just rolled his ass back out.
Is this motherfucker gonna wrestle or what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's real weird time of the year, that time in between basically Survivor Series and the Rumble. Kind of
They
like,
basically saying we need to get this motherfucker to WrestleMania, and every time he wrestles, he gets hurt.
yeah, pretty much. He didn't get hurt at MSG, surprisingly.
Yeah, he ain't wrestled since though. So maybe he did get hurt. Came out there last night with a fucking bomber jacket on.
Or
Probably had a
maybe they learned their lesson from AEW and I'm gonna have him wrestling every week, idiotically. What do I know? But
What do
yeah,
you know?
what like you said, what are they doing with Drew McIntyre right now? Like you said, all he's doing is whining. Has he officially declared for the Royal Rumble?
He did. He did last night after he decided he was leaving. He declared for the Royal Rumble. So yeah, I don't know.
He ain't got a shot of winning. I'm curious to see who he faces off at WrestleMania with. Then he injured Sammy.
Did he? Is that where Sammy is?
Think so, yeah.
I
Think
saw
he
Kofi got his ass whooped last night too. Where the hell's Xavier at?
he got hit with that chair and he was out. Out cold. And then he
Yeah.
got the beats put on him after that. Xavier, I don't know, man. I feel like the New Day is just struck by the injury bug. And
Kofi just go
notwithstanding,
ahead and get new music. Because he comes out to the New Day music. He don't even wear New Day clothes anymore. He comes out there in fucking some kind of basketball looking shorts.
yeah, like regular shorts that I have on sitting around the house. But
Right. Came out with a brown wife beater on last night. Did you see that shit? He had a
for real?
brown tank top on. Yeah, he had a brown tank top on when he came out to the ring. Just a plain brown tank top. I was like, this motherfucker just rolled up to the ring and slapped some knee pads on it and went to the ring.
All he missing was a cigarette and some black Air Force Ones.
I think he was wearing black Air Force One.
I can't ready. But yeah, where's Xavier? Like you said, Kofi might as well get some new music. Um, Big E's injury, he had a major injury, but the other two, Big E was reliable before he had an injury. He really didn't get injured like that. But those other two, they always, have these injuries that they're riddled by.
I don't even think Xavier's hurt. I think he's just fucking playing video games.
He probably making more. He probably not making more money than he is with his WWE
I don't
contract.
know.
But
He's pretty fucking big. He was doing that G4 shit for a while. Like he was pretty big in the video game scene for a while.
yeah, I'm sure that up down is pulling in some bank. I wonder how that works though. Remember they were real strict about them streaming, but then they loosened up on it. But I still really don't know.
Well, they had him on like the network and shit like that because he was having wrestlers come on there.
Is he still on the network?
I don't know. I think he's on YouTube now, but for a while I think they had the exclusive rights for him.
Yeah, that's interesting. Hey, get your bag. But like you said, Kofi got knocked out. Your girl Nia Jax, her and Becky.
Yeah, that was last week. She knocked Becky out. Unless they did something again last night that I missed.
She came out for the interview.
I saw Rhea Ripley talking about Becky Lynch ain't Rhea Ripley, and I'm like, yeah, she actually wrestles. But I digress.
Hey, she made everybody's woman wrestler of the year.
I don't know why, but whatever. She gets cheered, so that's what that is. If that's the case, Dominic should be the fucking male wrestler of the year.
Yeah, but how the criteria that they're using might as well put Dominic as the wrestler of the year. I don't know.
He gets
Just the way they were describing it, like she's so dominant and she was the one that shined the most. Like
she beat Ivy Nile and Thea Trinidad and Natalia. Like she beat Charlotte at WrestleMania and won the Royal Rumble. I'll give her that. But like, what else has she? Who else has she beat? She lost in War Games.
Did she?
She was on the losing team.
Was she even in War Games?
Well, last year she was in War Games. So I guess that doesn't count. That doesn't serve my point. But you get what I'm saying.
No, I was really trying to think of.
I don't know if she wasn't on. She wasn't with Damage Control this year, was she? I know she was last year.
Nah, she was. I think she wrestled at Survivor Series. Then she wrestled. What's her name? Zoe Stark.
Can't even fucking. Yeah, whatever. And I ain't trying to hate on Ripley. Like I like her. I think she's cool. Like she got a good aura to her. I just wish she would wrestle more and actually wrestle good people. so she can be deserving of all the accolades that everybody tries to give her. But
I'm sure she'll probably be main eventing over there in Perth.
nah, that's gonna be
Elimination
The
Chamber.
Rock.
Oh, so you on that bandwagon?
No, hell no. Rock needs to fight at WrestleMania. And I'm tell you why, EJ. I'm
Why is
glad
that?
we got here. Fix this goddamn microphone. I'm gonna ask you some questions. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Who was the biggest star in wrestling in the 80s?
Hulk Hogan.
Who was the biggest star in the 90s?
Uh, it's debatable, but I say Stone Cold.
The 2000s?
I don't know. This could overlap because you had The Rock in the early, and then you had John
Mhm.
Cena.
John Cena. And the 2010s to 20s. So, like, the last 10 years, who's the biggest star in wrestling?
I guess Roman maybe.
Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and John Cena have all been beaten by The Rock at WrestleMania. Why not fucking beat Roman Reigns too? And The Rock can go and call himself Mr. WrestleMania. Now, he probably won't win, but if they can bring that history up and show what he's chasing and give him something bigger than just the head of the table and the title, maybe it'll create a little doubt and people start thinking that The Rock might win. You gotta think that'd be a fucking feather in your cap. You've beat the biggest star in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and now the biggest stars of the past 40 years. You've beaten all of them at WrestleMania.
Hmm. Not. I guess that would work. I feel like we're skipping a decade. The 20 teens. Was that all Roman?
I mean, who was bigger than who was it went from John Cena to Roman.
I guess John Cena overlap. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. John Cena was 15 years and now Roman's taken over since then. So the last 4 decades, the four biggest stars, you could have The Rock defeat all of them at WrestleMania.
Man,
Or Roman Reigns could just beat the fuck out of The Rock and retire him at WrestleMania.
either way, it shouldn't be happening in Australia.
Oh no. No. I thought about that and I tried to give it a fair shake. It's WrestleMania. Sorry, Cody. Fuck your story, bud.
Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, we might as well get into it. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, a lot of fans chiming in, and they just sound like a bunch of nerds and marks. I've heard like so many crazy scenarios. Well, how about you have The Rock in Perth, then he loses to Roman Reigns, then he gets his get back, and then he can fight on WrestleMania night 1. Then you have Cody on WrestleMania night 2.
Like Roman's gonna work 2 nights on one weekend.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here.
What about Cody winning the Elimination Chamber, and then he goes in a triple threat match, and then you have The Rock and Solo at WrestleMania? I'm like, y'all got too much time in your hands. And
Why? I don't understand. I don't understand. We've talked about this before. Why are we trying to force Cody in here? The Rock, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania, main event. Why are we trying to force Cody in here?
I don't understand it. I don't understand what's wrong with him facing whoever the champion.
Randy Orton.
Yeah, that at WrestleMania this year.
Fight Randy Orton. Have Randy Orton cost him the Royal Rumble.
That'd be perfect. And what's wrong with him winning next year's Royal Rumble at WrestleMania 42? Why are people in a rush?
It ain't even about that, but I mean, like, this bloodline storyline was around before when Cody was still in AEW. Like,
that too.
that's got nothing to do with him. Quit trying to force Cody in it. I'm a Cody fan. You know, talked about it before. Flew to Chicago to see the man win the NWA title. Like, the guy was one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever met before to meet and greet. Cody's my guy, but this has nothing to do with him. The Rock is the biggest star in the world. people might argue like soccer players and shit like that we don't pay attention to. But in America, The Rock might be the most recognizable person in the world. And it just so happens he used to be a pro wrestler, one of the most popular of all time. The biggest wrestler in the world right now, whether people want to admit it or not, the biggest name in the sport of pro wrestling is Roman Reigns. The biggest event, whether people want to admit it or not, is WrestleMania. I don't know how you could argue that, but people probably will try to say All In's bigger now. It's not. It's WrestleMania. Rock, Roman, WrestleMania. That's it. Cody has nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, all you Cody fans out there. Maybe next year. Maybe he can win it at No Way Out or fucking Great Balls of Fire or something like that.
No, I don't want to win at neither one of those events either. I don't want to win at SummerSlam. I think he should face for the title at SummerSlam, and he loses at SummerSlam. More of a hurdle for him to overcome.
If Cody fights Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, he's gonna be losing again. Like, do y'all really want that?
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, this year he's not losing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why? Why are we freaking out trying to force Cody over there to another loss? Let him beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
Yep. And I think that if you were to have him next year's WrestleMania, I think the stars will line up. At that point, Roman's be surpassing Hogan's record, I think, after SummerSlam. And if you're that hot, then people's fear like, fans might not be so hot on him if you wait. Well, that means he wasn't that over to begin with. If fans just give up on him like that.
He's not even on the same fucking show as the title that Roman has.
I mean, we know the brand split doesn't mean anything, but I get your point. Yeah, I mean,
I'm just so sick of people just being like, well, what about Cody? What about him? He lost. He won the Royal Rumble. He lost. I don't hear anybody bitching that Baron Corbin's not getting another title match when he failed his cash in. Batista won the Royal Rumble and lost it in a triple threat match. I ain't hear everybody crying for him to get another title shot the next year. They booed him out of the building. Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, and Daniel Bryan tried to steal it from him. He went to WrestleMania and lost to Brock Lesnar. Nobody said, oh, as soon as Roman fights him again, it's on. He lost.
Yeah, I just think you could do more storytelling with it instead of trying to force him into it this year.
Even if The Rock wasn't there, I'd rather see a 4-way elimination match with the Bloodline for the title than see Cody and Roman again. And Cody and Roman was great last year. Like, I was cheering for Roman, and I thought Cody was gonna win. So like every false finish, I was like, oh my God, he kicked out. Like, we were hyped at the WrestleMania party I was at. I don't think I'll get that again this year.
Why not?
Because there's no belief that last year the belief was that Cody was gonna win. I wanted Roman to win. But you didn't know. Everybody just assumed Cody was going to win, but you really didn't know. I think this year, Roman's keeping the belt. They're going to beat Hogan's record. Like, they wouldn't talk about it if they weren't going to do it. When's the last time they brought up a record like this and then months beforehand the person loses the belt unless they get injured?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody would be able to post something up like that, but especially in the Vince era.
It's like if Gunther would have lost to The Miz the week before he broke the record.
I was thinking he was about to.
Come on, EJ. You knew The Miz wasn't going to win that damn belt.
No, I think he's facing Gable right before he was breaking the record.
I thought he was facing The Miz.
Nah, it was Gable. It was like Gable. That's why I thought he was going to lose. I'm like, they're going to try to get cute and get Gable the belt. But nah, beat him. The Miz, I think it was a different record with The Miz where he was about to face The Miz for. I think it is like, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
The Miz was going for the record amount of times being the champion or something like that.
Yeah, The Miz was going for like the record of IC. He would have passed Jericho, I want to say. But I get what you're saying. Like, why would they bring it up? But they've done stranger things. But I think if he goes against The Rock, there's no way he's losing. And it's got to
No
be at
way he's
Mania at
winning.
this point. It's got to be at Mania at this point where he loses the belt. They can't just do it at Great Balls of Fire, like you said.
I don't even think that's a pay per view anymore.
Yeah, they did it once. It was an awful idea for the name. But I digress. Yeah. Just let the story play out. And you know what I don't want to happen is I don't want this sheeple on the internet to keep having a groundswell of why Cody shouldn't be on it and they try to hijack that main event. That'd be awful. And shit on the
Oh, if
main
Cody's
event.
not in there and
Yeah.
nah, it'll be. I think we're past that section of fans showing up that try to hijack the shows now. I think they've grown up and moved on, and I think the majority of the fans now are, you know, 16 to 26, where they just kind of like they cheer for who they like, they play along, like the heels get booed and the faces get cheered now in WWE. I don't think they would do that. I think they'd be happy with Cody beating Randy Orton.
We'll see. Maybe those fans moved on to AEW.
Because leading up to it, SmackDown is going to be really good to get you hooked on The Rock versus Roman.
It will be. Like I said, I think it might be the quiet minority or the vocal minority that are bitching on the internet. Because I mean, like you said, if you're a fan going, look how big of a pop the Rock got at the show,
Yeah,
but he was just
corny
on.
ass.
So it's the people on the internet. The people on the internet that are bitching out, it probably can't even afford to go on to the show. So, so they probably won't hijack the show. That'd just be my fear that they would try to.
Sorry, they got she got my girl Tiffy working in the barn. Fallon Henley does.
They should bring on Mickey James for one of these segments.
Oh my god. God, Fallon Henley's pretty. Um Tiffy Tiffany showed up in some sparkling high heels, a fucking fur bra, and a mini skirt. This is comedy. I wish I could hear it.
I'm sure you'll see
Anyway,
the clip on Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah, NXT they cook with their backstage segments. I wish the main roster would, take a page of that book and do more stuff like that.
Yeah, they do let them try to get over with like character work and shit like that.
It's entertaining to me.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. That's one of the reasons I like Impact. Impact does a lot of it too with backstage stuff. Some of Impact's is a little corny, like Bully Ray setting old boy on fire, like it clearly was fake.
That,
Happened in Atlanta, by the way.
that was funny when he set PC on fire.
Yeah.
uh, think he hit him with a car too.
Yeah, that happened right here at center stage. Um, yeah, rock and roll, man. I'm locking it in. That's my main event. Who knows what's gonna happen with the Royal Rumble? Everybody's predicting CM Punk's gonna win. I don't know. I think this would be a good year for just surprise winners.
Why?
Why not?
Maybe with the women. Well, sometimes you could try to be too smart for the room. What are you gonna have like Gunther win it?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't need to see
I
Gunther.
couldn't think of anybody. And honestly, that would be good. Gunther could win. He could not unify the titles, but he could win the title at WrestleMania and then relinquish the Intercontinental title. And then that'll start a fucking Intercontinental title tournament. Gunther would be a good one. I wasn't even thinking of him. I was thinking of like your boy Austin Theory or somebody.
What? Now you're just trying to you're just trying to get a reaction, and I'm not gonna give it to you.
Now, what about Randy Orton?
Nah, he already won it
He's
twice.
won it like 3 times already, 2 or 3 times. Uh,
That wouldn't be good.
who's left?
Lashley.
Lashley. I wouldn't mind
I wouldn't
Lashley
be
winning.
I wouldn't be mad at that one. But Lashley and Seth, 'cause whoever wins the Rumble, like you said, they have to face Seth. Yeah. I'm not really feeling any surprise winner.
I ain't feeling Punk
Well, that's what you're gonna get. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
unless The Rock wins.
Yeah, you could do that. Have him come in at number 30 because he needs to get
Yeah, because
some ring time. That boy windy.
number 30 would be good for him because he wouldn't be able to last much longer. Who would he
Yeah,
eliminate though? Oh my God, could you imagine The
Cody.
Rock and Cody in the ring at the end? It's just them two, and The Rock sends his ass over the top rope. He'd get booed out of the building, I bet.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're dumb enough to do that. I
I think
think
they should. And if the crowd does boo him, let The Rock be heel and let Roman Reigns be the face.
nah, Roman's too good at being a heel right now.
He doesn't have to be a face. I'm saying he could play the role of the face. He's still being Roman,
Mhm.
but like given the whole shit that he gave, Brock, like, oh, look at you coming back trying to steal my spotlight, trying to be on the island of relevancy, blah, blah, blah. Like all the shit he says, but because the crowd's hating on The Rock, they would cheer Roman doing it. He wouldn't have to change much. Acknowledge me.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll go that route, having The Rock eliminate Cody if The Rock
I
even
think they
shows up.
should. I think they should.
You just like to see chaos.
I do. I think it should come down to The Rock and Cody. And you know how like the last two go back and forth and you don't know what to. I think Rock should just beat his ass and throw him over the top rope. Like as soon as they look at each other, he's just rock bottom him, pick him up, throw him over the top rope, hit the turnbuckle, throw his fist in the air.
Then get booed out of the arena. Like, what good does that do for The Rock being heel at this point?
Hollywood Rock could come back. My favorite version of The Rock. This is all I want. Bring back the little fucking leather jacket and the big belt buckle.
It'd be interesting, but I don't know about that one. And retreading those waters. But I think Punk is probably gonna win this Royal Rumble. And we'll
I
be
definitely
in
don't want
first
Punk.
one.
I definitely don't want Punk to win.
Yeah, hoping you gearing yourself up once he wins.
I'll walk out.
Walk out. You're not going, are you?
I'm going to I'm having it at my house. God damn it. The WrestleMania party, the Royal Rumble party's at my house.
Yeah, you gonna walk out your own place?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick everybody out. Get out. Everybody out.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to get ready for the NFC Championship the next week, the next morning.
knock on wood. Don't jinx the Cowboys.
Undisputed Elite. How'd you like the promo with the devil?
I thought Adam Cole, he was spitting straight facts. There's nothing that he said that wasn't true. MJF would have did it to him. If it wasn't for Adam Cole, they wouldn't be cheering MJF. Got his boys, Undisputed Kingdom. Wasn't mad at it.
I don't know if I like my heels telling the truth.
Why not? You want them to
I like
lie?
my heels lying and fucking like believing what they're saying. If you tell them the truth, you're just a baby face with an edge.
Nah, I feel like somebody else is telling the truth, and you were all for it.
Like the Joker. You know how I got these scars? Told a different story every time. But he believed it every time. And that's what made him crazy. I don't want a motherfucker to be like, yeah, people only liked you because of me. And I just did what I did before you did it. That's not a reason. You hate that motherfucker. That's what I want to hear.
that is a reason, though. MJF's a prick. And then
No.
he said, and once you win the title, Royal, you hand it over right to me.
Warlord's like, shh. Shit. You see that look he gave? He was like, yeah,
Uh-uh.
okay, pal.
I didn't see that look.
Yeah, they literally looked at Wardlow. He was like, I'm gonna hand you what now? Oh shit, little advice time.
I wonder if she's gonna cash in on her contract.
I'm trying not to look at the TV because I know I'm gonna get distracted. Let me
You
just
might,
turn it off.
yeah, I'd say might want to just turn it off.
let me just go to another screen.
But I mean, I like how they came out and followed up with it. But Adam Cole's hurt, so what's the direction with the group?
Right. It makes no sense. He's gonna be out the next 6 months, or is MJF gonna be off TV until he gets back?
Maybe. Do we even know MJF's contract status?
I don't care.
So
If he shows up at the Rumble, cool. I'd rather be surprised. I don't want to know everybody's contract status. I'm pissed off that everybody's like, yeah, Mercedes is going to AEW. She'll be there this week or next week. Like, shut the fuck up.
I don't know if that's true.
I hope it's not. I hope she shows up at the Rumble too.
I think that might happen actually. Remember we talked about this last week. Remember how they threw people off with Punk showing up at the Survivor Series? What was it? Just throwing out reports
Yep.
that contract negotiations broke down with her, so it could be a surprise at the Rumble. Man, we were
I hope
hearing
so.
rumors about Trinity too. Like, I hate leaks. Like, why can't things be a surprise, man?
Ever.
I don't know how they would do that because isn't she still the TNA champion?
Until Saturday night.
She got a match.
I don't know. But I
Oh.
mean,
Yeah, I think she is facing the juggernaut, Jordan Grace, I want to say.
no.
Why you say no?
I don't want Jordan Grace to be the fucking champion again.
You came around to Jordan Grace.
I said she was nice. I didn't say she was great.
I mean, we didn't even talk about them losing Deonna Purrazzo, who showed up on Dynamite. So
What a lukewarm reaction that was in her
thought she got
hometown.
thought she got a nice little pop.
I like Deanna. She can wrestle her ass off. Legit one of the prettiest faces in the history of wrestling. She sounds like she's crying when she's cutting a promo.
Hey, you put some respect on the virtuoso's name.
She does. She sounds like she's about to cry. It's her. Who else does it? Somebody in WWE does that. Liv Morgan, I think. When they talk, they sound like they're about to cry every time they cut in a promo.
That's your girl, Liv Morgan.
And not like a cry like I'm so mad I'm about to cry, but like
It's whiny.
yeah, like I'm speaking in public and I'm not comfortable with it type. If you go back and listen to that promo, it sounds like she's about to cry.
She always sounds like that.
Yeah, I don't like it. It just maybe she should sit and talk and just be a badass because she can wrestle her ass off.
It's a big pickup for AEW, but going back to TNA, they lose her. They may lose Trinity. Like, who else would you put the belt on?
I don't know if I agree with that being a big pickup for AEW. I don't know if Deanna fits in AEW.
Oh, we know what's gonna happen. She's gonna face Tony Storm, and then she's gonna disappear off TV.
Perhaps.
like they always do.
I mean, look what Tony Storm had to do to get over, you know? She couldn't just come out there and wrestle. She had to fucking turn herself into a starlet. Look what Britt Baker had to do. She couldn't just come and wrestle. She had to be DMD.
Where the hell is she, by the way?
She went down to Georgia.
I mean, she's probably just like clocking into work day to day. Like,
Yeah, I mean, she does run a dental practice.
Yeah, she's probably just chilling there. Like, oh, I guess if they call me to wrestle, I'll show up. Let me see these incisors right here. Like,
yeah, show me your molars. Oh, hey, Tony. Just doing a little cleaning right now. Can you come to work? I am at work.
I wonder how many creeps try to sign up just so she could be their dentist in like the Pittsburgh
at
area.
least they're getting dental health now. You know, creepy or not, it's not like they can go in there and like do anything. They're just going there to get their mouth worked on by Dr. Britt Baker. And now they got good fucking dental hygiene.
What a mark. I'm gonna.
Maybe a woman wrestler needs to be like an armpit doctor too, like start her own practice, like a fucking how to apply deodorant doctor. You know what I mean?
This overall hygiene doctor. Have a bunch of people outside that line.
I'm going to see Dr. Red Velvet to find out how to put deodorant on.
What an awful gig that would be. Ugh. Plenty of
Smelly.
clientele though in the wrestling world.
Speaking of stinky wrestling fans, I'll be amongst them. At last I looked, AEW Revolution sold 15,000 tickets so far, and they're still opening stuff up. I think this arena can hold up to 20.
Oh, really? The Greensboro?
Yeah. Stinger, man. Sting's a draw.
I mean, it is his last match. I'd hope so. People show him some respect.
I mean, only fucking 75 people showed up at Ric Flair's last match in Nashville.
I thought they had a pretty good crowd.
It might have been like 300.
Oh, it was more than that.
It couldn't have been that much. It was a fucking, and this motherfucker faked a heart attack.
I thought he was really dehydrated.
No, he faked a heart attack.
I thought he was just dehydrated. That was all show.
Yeah.
What a terrible thing to do when you're probably close to being dead.
6,800 people showed up for that, they said. I don't believe it.
I believe it, but
I don't think it was 7,000 people there.
But
Only
why? Like, people probably didn't want to show up. They probably didn't want to see a death happen in the ring. Like,
he didn't even wrestle that much. Fucking what's his son's name? Son-in-law? Andrade wrestled most of the match
against Double J and Jay Lethal. What a shit show. I watched it. It was terrible. I didn't know that was fake. I thought he was really dehydrated. I know he was having a
Did you really
attack.
watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't watch it live.
It doesn't look like there's 7,000 people there. I'm looking at it now. It looks almost like what NWA's all women's pay-per-view looked like.
I went to that.
What?
Nah, that was only like there's probably only 400 to 500 people in there.
Oh, you were there for that?
Yeah.
That would have been a cool show to go to. WWE needs to do another Evolution, man. That Evolution pay-per-view was nice.
I heard it was rumors that they might bring it back.
Ever since Stephanie left.
Why not bring back Evolution? But yeah, you say you don't think Purrazzo's that big of a pickup. I think it's maybe not big of a pickup in the grand scheme of things. AEW, I think it's a big loss for Impact. If you do throw Mercedes Moné in there, you know she would get treated like a star in AEW. I mean, this would be I'm not a fan of all their titles, but I think a women's tag team title would kind of give some direction to their booking, and you could book multiple women things going on and not get rid of people as soon as they lose the championship match. I think that would do.
Yeah, well. That would be the opposite of what Tony Khan normally does.
What?
Not have people taken off of TV as soon as they get over.
I mean, he's been doing a good job with Tony, but he hasn't really built up any contenders for her like that. I like what he's doing with Sky Blue and Julia Hart.
Ooh.
What?
Sky Blue. I was just picturing Sky Blue. I got into an argument with somebody today on Twitter, and he deleted all his tweets. But have you seen the videos they've been posting? I'm a women's wrestler. And have you seen any of those? It's like, I'm a women's wrestler, and I really love it when y'all hang out at the airport and my hotel. It's not creepy at all. Like that kind of shit.
I think I did.
And so Sky Blues was like, I'm a women's wrestler and you don't recognize me if I have pants on. So some guy tweeted like, well, maybe if you didn't have your ass cheeks out all the time and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, the women wear more clothes than the men do, though. That's all I said. And some guy was like, yeah, because the men have their dicks out. They don't have tits and ass like the women do. And I was like, but are their tits out? Because I've never seen it before. And he's like, I've never seen Becky or Charlotte or Bianca with their cheeks out. They get over because they're good. And I'm like, have we been watching the same matches? Because I'm pretty sure I could pick Becky, Bianca, and Charlotte's ass cheeks out of a lineup. But like, that's not what we're talking about. I was like, I told him, I said, you're basically I can read you verbatim what I said because I don't want to get it wrong.
He's tweeting and deleting. What a
Yeah,
loser.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Wow, I got to scroll down a lot.
You must have had some time on your day going back and forth with this
Yeah.
guy.
I said, are there tits showing? This is a dumb take that you're agreeing with. Basically, you're saying if women dress hot, be ready for whatever happens. No, that's promoting a shitty culture. You can enjoy the way a woman dresses without being a creep about it. And the guy deleted his shit after that. I think he blocked me too.
Yeah, he probably blocked you just because you were telling the truth.
Right. Like, who the fuck like appreciates how hot women pro wrestlers are more than I do? But like, I don't think I'm creepy about it. You might have a different idea, but I don't think I'm creepy about it. I also love women's wrestling. Like, I can talk about how good a fucking match was without being like, yeah, but her butt was out. Who gives a fuck? They're fighting. Guess what? Newsflash. To me, women are hot. They're gonna be hot whether they're wearing blue jeans or booty shorts. And they're gonna be fighting each other. Who cares what they're wearing?
And then also, like, who are you to tell somebody how they shouldn't dress just because
Exactly.
you're sexualize it in your head?
Because you can't control yourself.
Yeah, she's just
How am I
wearing.
supposed to enjoy them fighting each other if her butt cheeks are out?
Yeah,
I
like
don't
just
know.
pay attention to the wrestling and not her butt cheek.
Right.
Yeah, weirdos out there, man. I think they just like to hear themselves talk or see themselves tweet. Like why? Like why get on the internet and be negative? I don't know. When I'm giving criticism, it's usually constructive criticism. I don't do it to attack people. So that's funny that he blocked you though. Like that's gonna
Yeah,
mess up
it
your
is.
day or something.
It did, man. I literally had to stop what I was doing and like try to find out who this guy was and ask him to forgive me. Maybe we could enjoy a match with butt cheeks together one day.
Maybe you're right. Invite him to your Royal Rumble party.
Yeah, yeah, right. First time he chance CM Punk, I'm gonna beat his ass.
Oh, you know that's coming. You know that's coming.
Let's get to the power rankings.
Let's get it. I didn't write any down this week.
I didn't either. I never do.
I think you did like once or twice, but that was many moons ago. I think I went first last week.
Let's see. My number 5 would be Fallon Henley.
It's because this is on TV.
No, it's because she beat Tiffany.
Oh yeah, she did beat her last week. Interesting. Man, I forget like the matches that happened. My number 5, I got Trick Williams since you brought that up for beating Grayson Waller last week. Grayson Waller, all he do is take L's. So I guess that
Yeah.
shouldn't be that much a surprise. But that's my number 5. Number 4, I got KO number 4, winning that US tournament to be number 1 contender and for punching Logan Paul in the face after win.
My number 4 and number 3 are your number 5 and number 4, Trick and KO. Trick wins the the match with Grayson Waller, which I kind of feel like that was a bit of a bait and switch that I didn't like because they were promoting that shit the whole night, knowing that Ilya wasn't going to be able to wrestle. But good for Trick. He still won. They still kept the story with Trick and Mello going, which I appreciated.
Man, when are they gonna actually wrap that up? I
Probably whenever
appreciate.
Mello can fucking turn on him and go to the main roster, and Trick never gets his get back. And then like a year and a half later, maybe Trick debuts and finally fucking gets his get back on Mello.
Talk about long-term storytelling. Um, you said that was your number 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3, man. I'm trying to think of what happened. Oh, I got number 3. My number 3 is Sting for squashing that guy on Collision.
What he squashed on Collision? I thought he was in a tag team match.
It was the Workhorseman, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Sting did get the win, didn't he? He got the death drop.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking of I
Darby.
was still thinking of that four-way match where Sting didn't get the win, somebody else did.
That was Sting.
Yeah, Sting got the win on Collision. You're right. I was thinking of the four-way match with like Sting, Darby, and who they team with, and they were taking on like Ricky Starks, and this was a couple weeks ago. That's what I was thinking of for some reason. But you're right. They did just beat the Workhorseman, and Sting hit the death drop for the win. Sting looked a lot better in this match than he did in that match I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. You talking about the one at World's End?
Possibly. Was that a four-way? I mean,
Yeah.
an 8-man tag? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about.
So that was my number 3. So am I on my number 2? Because you did 2, you reeled off 2 at a time, or is it your number 2?
I did 5, you did 4 and 3, and then I did 4 and 3. And now you're 2 and
I just did 3.
I'm sorry, I did 5, you did 5 and 4. I did 4 and 3, and then you do yours.
I just did 3. 2, a guy you're not a fan of, but he's your new global champion. That was a good match between him, John Moxley, and Will Ospreay, David Finlay. And then you brought up Dolph earlier. He was at the New Japan. He's sitting in the crowd, and then I think he had some backstage stuff. He was like, "This title means the most important thing to me on the planet. Isn't this just a brand new title? How can it mean that much to you already?"
Yeah. I love Moxley's promo too. Like, there's 32 fucking belts around here.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he said that he's sitting there bleeding at the New Japan press conference, and he's like, he didn't know what the name of the belt was. He goes, whatever the fucking belt is, fucking. He actually might have said something a little racist. I think he said like Mitsubishi or something like that.
I mean, that's the pot calling the kettle black. What about his own company?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
My number 2 would be, I'm gonna go Sting. And then my number 1, even though he wasn't no, my number 1 will be shit. Nobody really had any title matches this week. I'll go Roman as number 1.
He just ruined the main event.
Yeah, why not? He ruined the main event, but then he made a main event at Royal Rumble, and of course, him coming back was bigger and better than anything that was happening anyway.
And I called it a couple weeks ago that it might do a 4-way. I think you said you think it was going to be Randy versus him. I mean, we kind of telegraphed it when it had AJ come back. I'm like, they're probably going to do a 4-way at the Royal Rumble. I mean, I think this is their way of people hijacking the Royal Rumble because, LA Light, he still has a pretty rabid fan base. And this way, you don't have to put him in the Rumble. He's in this title match. But they still got the Cody problem on their hand. But I'm sure this will be a fine match. None of them are going to beat Roman. What if they did?
Somebody wins
Yeah,
by pinning
somebody
fucking
else.
LA. Randy Orton pins LA Knight.
Like, that would be so awful if they just ended the story out of nowhere at the Rumble. Yeah, that ain't happening. But I mean, I'm sure they're gonna play it up, building up to the Rumble. Roman doesn't even have to get pinned, and the hijinks that ensues with that. I'm sure Jimmy's gonna eat some pins along the way to the Rumble.
Oh yeah, that's all he's. Well, I don't know. I think Jimmy's gotten pinned less than Jay has.
I don't know about that, man.
They
They
broke
both,
the Usos up just to make them eat pins all the time in one-on-one matches.
yeah, I'm gonna say so because Solo was eating the pins for a while, but then he beat Cena. I don't think he's really lost since beating Cena. Now it's just been the Usos taking pins. Hey, you wanted to see Jay as a solo star, well now you got it.
Yeah, I said star, not a fucking pin eater.
Hey, you got to take some bumps on the way to the top.
Shit, he already did. He got his ass kicked by Roman for 3 years.
Take some more bumps to the way to the top. They're on a highway to face each other at WrestleMania, and you'll love that match when it happens. Huh?
Yeah, probably.
I'll say you didn't sound too enthusiastic about that.
I don't know. There's just so much shit that can go wrong and so much shit that can go right in between here and WrestleMania, and then listening to everybody talk about it. I'm with you. I think it's a little bit of fantasy booking fatigue that just kicked in. It's
My,
like you can come up with all the cool shit you want to, but they ain't gonna do any of it.
like, who has time to sit around and plan it out? Like some of the stuff I've heard people call in on Busted Open, like,
I mean, I do. I just drive around all day. I got time to think about all kind of crazy shit.
well, you keep it to yourself. These people have the audacity to pick up their telephone and call in with these absurd ideas that aren't gonna happen. I'm like, man, are you? I don't know. I ain't gonna say it. Let's just move on. I'm not gonna make fun of these people. Um, my number one is your new your new Japan champion, Naoto. He defeated Sonata at the main event. People are lukewarm on it. I guess you didn't get a chance to see it.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. Who'd you say?
Nato.
Oh, Naito. Okay. I was like, who the fuck is that? Is it a new guy that just won the title?
Nah,
I got you. I had no idea who won the main event. I don't even know who won between Bryan and Okada again, but I haven't watched it yet, so I kinda don't want to know.
oh, you didn't see that one?
No, haven't seen that one yet.
That one's a banger. Go back and
I
watch it.
couldn't find Wrestle Kingdom's 2 days. I can only find day one, I think, or
Oh, it's
night
only it's,
one.
it's only one day this year.
It says 6th and 7th on the or
Oh,
3rd and 4th, whatever it said, but if it was only one night, then maybe I did have the whole thing. But I
well,
kept having to get link 1, link 2, link 3, and I just got frustrated with it. It's like
maybe it
I'll find
was
this later.
maybe it was 2 nights, but whatever link I had, it had 5.5 hours. So maybe they just put both of them
That's
on.
one. That's one night, dog. That's
Oh,
one night of Wrestle Kingdom.
dang. Well,
Yeah, maybe they shortened it up this year. Who knows?
what's this year? 18?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, on the page it said it was one night this year. Last
Yeah.
year it was 2 nights, like you said, and they had it spread out last year for some reason. They didn't have it like back to back nights. It was like 2 weeks later they had night two. Yeah, yeah. That's interesting because they're not gonna roll back WrestleMania to one night.
I hope they keep it one night next year when I go.
You
Because
going
I
to
only
WrestleMania 42?
no, I'm going to Wrestle Kingdom next year.
Oh yeah, you did say that you're gonna fly Japan. I
Yeah, I'm gonna go
mean,
to Japan, man. Japan looks fun. You know, I'm not into all the foreign like foods and shit like that when you travel places. Like, I just like my regular American burgers and steaks and shit. But Japan does a lot of meats and desserts and shit like that. I can go over there and get fat real quick.
I'm not too informed about Japanese cuisine. I don't know what they eat over there. Like real Japanese, not the American Japanese cuisine.
Yeah, and you can always find a McDonald's over there. You know,
It's not gonna be a traditional McDonald's. They got
you
like
don't know that you ain't never been in Japan.
I think I've seen the menus. Like they have like I'm sure they have a few things that are normal, but I think they have like seaweed stuff on there, and I mean it's good to expand your horizon. I'm sure you can find something that's tasty. I feel like a lot of foods overseas is a little overrated. Besides Italian food, that was some good stuff.
Man, I mean, I know we got to get to our NFL stuff, but I've been fucking killing it on the like I've been cooking some different shit this year.
Mm.
This year, it's fucking 9 months in, 9 days into it. But like I did a one, apologies to my mom and my grandmother, but I don't think anybody can make chili as good as I do. Like my chili's bomb. Um, but last night I made a chicken bacon ranch pasta that I see these recipes on Instagram and I just go get the ingredients and fucking do it. It was really good too. Three big ass pieces of chicken breast seasoned up, put in the air fryer. Pasta, you make your own like cheese sauce with cottage cheese and all this shit you got to put in a blender. It's like protein pasta. That's what it's called. Because I got protein noodles, obviously the chicken, bacon's in it. It's like nothing but fucking protein. It's like 600 calories a serving, but they're pretty big. I had it for lunch today. It carried well. So, been doing a lot of cooking lately.
I've been cooking because I've been doing keto this month.
Hmm.
I don't do it long term. Just trying to get some of those holiday pounds off. And I signed up for factor meals, but I signed up too late and not gonna come till next week. So I got this like little 2 week recipe guide in the meantime, and I'm having to cook like 3 meals a day. So they had a like you mentioned pasta. They had like a pasta that I had to do vegetable like a veggie pasta.
Hmm.
It was it's pretty decent.
I've always wanted to do one of those ready to eat meal things that they send to you where you just get them out of the freezer and put them in the microwave, but that shit's expensive.
So these ones like you put them in the refrigerator because you're supposed to eat them pretty right away, and it's like fresh ingredient. I hadn't done it since I lived in Cali, so it's been about 4 years since I've done it. But like you said, it is a little expensive. I'm only gonna be doing it for like 2 weeks. Because once January's up, I'm just go back to my regular routine of doing the intermittent fasting and stuff, and I'm usually
That
good
work
every
for
day.
you? I mean, you're
Yeah,
already like little, but
yeah, that's how I was able to drop like 30 pounds. 'Cause I gained like a good bit of weight when I was over in Cali, and then when I moved over to Missouri, I started doing that and dropped 30 pounds.
what hours do you eat when you're doing intermittent
I
fasting?
usually do like the 4 hour window in the evening, like 5 to 9.
You only eat for 4 hours a day?
Yeah, when I'm doing that, but like I said, I've been doing keto this month, so I've been eating 3 meals, which is rare for me.
I was thinking like the 8 hours a day where it's like 11 to 7 or something like that. And nine's late to eat, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
you're not supposed to eat before you go to bed.
I usually don't go to bed till like 11, but you know, eight between 8 and 9, like 9 is the cutoff for me.
We're losing all our fucking listeners right now because most of them are probably fat. So
Hey, not just a wrestling podcast. We like to give wellness tips as well.
I need them. I'm trying to drop about 40 pounds. Um, let's go ahead and do our NFL, EJ. I'm sure everybody should know that's been following along. EJ won. uh,
Indeed, did.
what was the final score or the final tally? And you gotta let the listeners know what kind of bottle of alcohol you want.
Well, before we get into that, let's pull up the final tally. I had it pulled up, and then me getting sidetracked and opening all these tabs up, accidentally closed the tab that it was on. So
Mm.
bear with me. It's gonna be we've been doing this for the past 18 weeks. It's gonna be weird not being having these picks this week. What does the schedule look like for this weekend? As far as
6 games this weekend. 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday night.
they got a Monday night game this year?
Yep, they had one last year. The Cowboys beat the Bucks on Monday.
I don't even remember that. Actually, I did still have the page pulled up. I don't know why I thought I closed it down. But last week, you beat me last week. You went 9-7, and I went a Jason Garrett 8-8.
The old Jason Garrett.
Old Jason Garrett special. But our final total, you went 155 and 117, so you were well over 500. And I went 172. I was trying to keep my losses underneath triple digits, but I went 172 and 100 on the dot.
Damn. You killed me.
I'm like, man, I wanted to stay under triple digits, but I had to pick. You were right on that pick with the Ravens and the Steelers. Like, I guess the Ravens rest all it started. I should have known.
Mm-hmm. And the Steelers still barely beat them. Steelers are losing the first round.
Yeah. Is Mike Tomlin just gonna be their coach for life? Like he does.
I
He
mean,
never has a losing season, but
yeah, he won 1 or 2 Super Bowls.
just one. He went to 2, and
They've only had 3 head coaches in the history of their franchise, though.
yeah, Chuck Noll and
I was gonna say Chuck Howley. Chuck Noll, what's Sergeant Slaughter and Mike Tomlin.
that's it.
Yeah.
What's that guy? He's the analyst on CBS now.
Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher, yeah. And yeah, I mean, you know, I never want to see Tomlin lose his job.
Sounds like you do.
Nah, he's a frat brothers, and I mean, he's a brother. I don't want to see a brother lose their job. So, but I mean, it's been a while since he's been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he wins every year, and he ain't got a quarterback. And he had to deal with Big Ben breaking down. Like, he don't make the choices on who the quarterbacks are. He plays with the hand that he's dealt. I think Tomlin's a good coach. I wanted him in Dallas when they were looking. Mike McCarthy was on the top of my list, though. I was looking at the other day, the Facebook memories came out when Jason Garrett got fired, and I was like, I want Mike McCarthy. I had a list. I think it was like not Urban Meyer. What's the young cat's name that was Lincoln Riley? I wanted Lincoln Riley, Mike McCarthy, and maybe Urban Meyer was on there. I had like 4 people that I wanted.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley, man.
I'm glad now that we got Mike McCarthy.
Man doesn't have a lick of defense, but
neither does Mike McCarthy, but he hired Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I think Lincoln Riley was like the sexy pick for a while, but look what he did with all that talent with USC.
Yeah,
and done nothing with it. So, yeah, it's that time of the year, man. Playoffs are exciting, and the Packers. I mean, those pesky Packers, man. But it's not your Aaron Rodgers Packers. So
Aaron Rodgers ain't coming through that door. Dez ain't dropping it. Fucking Jared Cook ain't nowhere to be. This is gonna be a massacre. We're not to that game yet. Let's start at the top. Let's start on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern in the great state of Texas. The Cleveland Browns at 11-6 travel to Houston to take on the Texans, who won the AFC South. EJ, who do you got?
Oh, so we making picks for the playoffs.
Yeah, why not?
Who's traveling to Houston?
The Cleveland Browns.
I think the Texans luck run up. I think the Browns are gonna win on the road.
So you got the Texans?
No, I said the Browns.
Okay. The Texans are at home. They got CJ Stroud back. He was balling to win that game last week against the Colts. I would feel more comfortable picking the Browns if Deshaun Watson was there, but I feel like Joe Flacco, the Browns got a good team, man. I think Flacco might be the right quarterback to fucking get them to upset some people.
Because you got the Browns.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Browns.
And that's the Saturday game.
Yep, that's Saturday, and then Saturday night on the cock, the 11-6 choke job Miami Dolphins, who had their division wrapped up and couldn't win at the end. And now they have to go on the road to Kansas City, where the high for the temperature will be 7 degrees. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Kansas City. The Miami Dolphins take on the Chiefs.
This ain't the same Chiefs from last year. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost, but I have them getting past the wild card round. I'm picking the Chiefs.
This is a hard one. Yeah, I got the Chiefs also, man. Defending Super Bowl champions, they can't go out in the first round, can they?
I mean, they can, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but
would you?
I wouldn't be surprised if they got knocked out. Miami, they have that high flying offense in spurts. Sometimes they disappear out of nowhere. Who was it? One of these analysts on TV, they're saying how Tyreek Hill is not a hand catcher, he's a body catcher. They're critiquing him like
true. EJ, if you want to go to that game, you can pay $70 to sit in section 329.
Really?
Not bad at all, right?
That's crazy. I've been seeing tickets for Chiefs games all year, and they've been in the 300s for nosebleed.
I'm literally clicking on the Ticketmaster app that's next to the game on NFL.com. If you want to go see the Texans and the Browns, cheapest ticket is $122.
Maybe because it's gonna be cold out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold as fuck. People just trying to get rid of those tickets. Sunday, Mike Tomlin leads the Pittsburgh Steelers into Buffalo, who stole the AFC Eastern Division crown at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Steelers take on the Buffalo Bills. Cheapest ticket to this game is $175.
Tragic. Yeah, I think the Buffalo Bills are going to stomp the Steelers.
I got the Bills as well. 4:30 Eastern in God's country. America's team defends against the Green Bay Packers. Dallas has those stupid ass standing room only tickets, so I'm gonna skip those. Cheapest ticket for an actual seat, section 434, $243 to go see the Cowboys and the Packers.
I believe it.
That's not bad for a playoff game, though.
For a wild card round, it is a little steep.
Still the playoffs. I got the Cowboys in a laugher.
Yeah, Cowboys win very comfortably.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday night, the Los Angeles Rams travel to Detroit to take on these goddamn crybaby Detroit Lions. I almost want to play the Lions again. Wow.
I think it's probably going to happen.
Cheapest ticket to get in the building for this. All these are resale, by the way, on Ticketmaster. $475 to see the Lions play in the playoffs. They haven't been to the playoffs since 1994 or 5, one of the two.
That's not true. Remember our Cowboys?
Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry. They haven't won a game since then.
Yeah.
But they haven't had a home game in the playoffs since then because they haven't won their division in forever because the Packers are always winning and the Bears won a couple times and the Vikings.
That's probably why it's almost $500 because
I got the Rams upsetting the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and I saw your picks before, and I know you picked the Lions. I mean, not the Lions. You picked the Rams, but I got the Lions in this one.
Mm. And last but not least, Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the team that was 10-1 and now 11-6, the Philadelphia Eagles travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. EJ, who you got? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait a second before you make your pick. If you want to go watch this game, the cheapest ticket in section 318 is $120.
Bad.
Verified resale.
That's crazy. The Chiefs got the cheapest ticket.
$70. I'm gonna go look at that again, make sure I read that right.
I can see it being like a standalone ticket.
Yeah.
Not gonna be
Verified resale, section 331, row 6. You can get 2 tickets for 138. Actually, the ticket went down. It went down $1, $69 now. Just that fast. It's got a view of the stadium and everything. You're sitting at the corner of the end zone at the top of the stadium, but you're technically not at the top because you're in row 6. It's actually a pretty good seat for $70. But it's gonna be cold as fuck Saturday night.
you never lie. Eagles versus Bucks.
I got the Bucks.
Yeah, if it was 5 weeks ago, I say picking the Bucks. You a crazy man, but Eagles injuries, have played a part, but they hadn't looked good. I'm going with the hometown Tampa Bay Bucks as well. It might not be a blowout. It might be a close game, because the Bucks haven't really looked that well at either.
So EJ, in your bracket, the second round of the playoffs, you picked the Browns and the Chiefs, right? In the AFC? Or did you
Yeah.
pick the Dolphins? You picked the Browns, the Chiefs, and the Bills. So by your bracket, it would be who's the lowest seed? It doesn't tell me the fucking seeds. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Standings, playoff picture. Here we go. Here we go. You picked the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Browns. So by your bracket, the Browns would go to Baltimore next week, and the Chiefs would go to Buffalo. And in the NFC, the Buccaneers would go to San Francisco, and the Lions would travel to Dallas. In my bracket, in the AFC would be exactly the same. The Chiefs and the Bills, the Ravens and the Browns. But in the NFC, it would be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round. I like mine a lot better than yours, EJ.
Of course you do.
Well, I think the Cowboys will beat the Lions or the Bucks, but I'd rather the Rams play the 49ers than the Buccaneers. Honestly, I'd rather the fucking Eagles play the 49ers than the Buccaneers. The Bucks ain't gonna do shit. They have no shot at beating the 49ers. I think the Rams could beat the 49ers in the playoffs. And if that matchup happens, I would probably pick the Rams.
If that matchup happened, I would not pick the Rams.
That's because you don't know what you're talking about, clearly. Because we've established over the year that my record's way better than yours.
Exactly.
EJ, let's get the hell up out of here. This has been a long show.
Oh, before we get out of here, we didn't get back to the alcohol of choice.
Oh, here we go.
And for the listener, and we hedged it off. We weren't gonna do it expensive. We were doing like $50 or less. But for the listeners that listened in the past, they could guess what I'm gonna choose. We all know I'm a Maker's man, baby. Maker's 46 though.
Ooh, the good shit.
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna cheers in the name of boot to the face once I crack it open.
I like it. Hopefully, cheers in the name of the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
I hope so. It's been too long.
So before we go, there's this weird feeling. I listen to DallasCowboys.com podcast. I listen to sports radio in Dallas in the morning when I'm at work. It's pretty much all the sports stuff I consume. I don't do the national stuff. But there's this eerie feeling. Normally, I'm like, man, I hope we win this game, this wild card game, man. The fucking Packers, like, they might beat us. Man, I hope we can get. I'm like, and it ain't just me. Listen to everything. Everybody's expecting the Cowboys to be in the NFC Championship. I think it's a little different this year, too. And I think with the fact that we're always so nervous and suffering from PTSD, I think it's good that everybody's expecting it. Maybe they're fucking expecting it, too. Like, go out, take care of business. You got 2 home games against teams that won't be as good as you. You'll be favored to win. They're favored by 8 points right now over Green Bay. It's over a touchdown.
A lot.
They should not lose this game. They'll be favored over Detroit. They'll be favored over Philly. They'll be favored over Tampa. Those are the 3 teams they could play if they win.
That Detroit game, though, that might not be. That'd be the toughest path to the NFC Championship. I don't think it'd be as easy as people may think.
I know games are different, and Dallas dominated Detroit. I know Detroit had a shot to win at the end. They turned them over a lot. They had a fluke fumble out the end zone that CeeDee Lamb would have scored a touchdown. They would have went up by 2 TDs. Detroit had 13 points going into the last minute and a half until Dallas went to that fucking prevent defense. Like, I wasn't really worried about Detroit.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm worried about is their dirty ass defensive end that kept trying to do that hip drop tackle on Dak when he sacked him. I'm worried about him getting Dak and hurting him. Other than that, I'm not worried about Detroit.
Yeah, they got to get past Los Angeles. That's going to be a tough game for them, but we shall see. That's why they play the games, baby.
They won't get past Los Angeles. I think the Rams, the Rams can fuck around and end up in the Super Bowl as bad as they play. They got so many weapons, and now that Donald is healthy, Stafford is healthy, Kupp is healthy, like, this is pretty much the team they had when they won a Super Bowl besides Odell, but Puka Nacua is better than Odell right now.
His balling, Pro Bowler. Cooper Kupp, he healthy? I think he is. He?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp's good to go.
Well then, there you have it.
But all right, for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. This will be our first audio podcast in months. And from here on out, we are full steam ahead to the NFL playoffs. Royal Rumble is around the corner. We'll talk about Impact Wrestling's pay-per-view next week and everything else involved in wrestling. Peace!
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put it, dude.